Hello traders, this is going to be a short video on an example on how to trade the news. I'm going to talk about Friday's non-farm payroll report. I guess by the time you get this will be last Friday's, the 3rd of May anyway, news report for non-farm payrolls, which is one of the top ones I told you about. It's tradable. So I'm going to teach you the setup that I used, and then kind of talk you through how you might do something, a different kind of method. Non-farm payrolls are extremely volatile, so just remember that. It's kind of scary for traders when price goes 40 pips one direction and quickly rebounds and goes 100 the other. Now, so to do this, you'd have to be up by at least 6 o'clock, I'd say. Do your research. Like I said before, you go back in your charts, just scroll backwards in MetaTrader. Go back, 6 months and look at each, like the release of the news and what the market did visually. One thing that you might do, I would show you this if I was at home, is you take a screenshot of each, and then you have a chart library for each thing. So you have a chart library for non-farm payroll, and a chart library for unemployment rates, and a chart library for CPI, and just basically a folder full of pictures, like, right when the event happened. So you'd have, like, for the last 6 months, you'd have 6 different screenshots of what the market looked at 6:30 a.m. Eastern time. And then you can kind of analyze that, and then you can use that as a reference and kind of get to how the behavior is going to go. I'm going to show you how I did that. I usually do that, but this is how I played it. I did, I had the pound, and where is the euro? The euro. I think this is it. And see this candle right here on the euro? Pretty sure that was 6:30. Yeah, so 12:31 right here. So what you do is, what I did was at 6:29, this candle right there, that green candle. See, this long candle is what had the NFP report. At 6:29, I put a sell order for the euro and a buy order. This is the same thing. See, right there. And a buy order for the pound US dollar. That's hedging. So you can't hedge the same currency, like I said, but you can take a sell order on one and take another one that's highly correlated, like this. See how they did pretty much the same thing? I mean, the scaling is different because I'm zoomed in closer to the pound, but they both dropped and then went back up. I mean, that's correlation. So that's what you do. You take 2 pairs that are affected by the same report and find them correlated, and then what you do is you just hedge it. So you buy the pound and sell the euro. And what I do is I just put a trailing stop of 15 pips at 6:29. And so what happened was, obviously, when I bought the pound, it got triggered 15 pips later. So that's negative 15. But when I did this, the price went down, started at, 3132. And there's 30 pips right there, and then jumped up. So I wound up breaking even on it, because it was so volatile. A lot of times it'll go down 50 or so pips, 50 to 100, but it went down and then back up, in a matter of, 15, 30 minutes. So I wound up breaking even, which wasn't too bad for me, A lot of times I'll get 50 to 100 pips on this, but when it kind of rebounds like this, it's kind of a different story, and that's the danger of trading the news. But another thing you could have done is bring your stops in closer as price start moving down. So maybe start with 15, and then cancel the trailing stop, and then add another one for 5, and then you probably would have wound up with 20 to 30 pips. Or you can start at maybe 10 pips from the beginning. Get the same result. I don't know, but the closer you are, though, even the opening, sometimes this first candle might have gone up higher and then back down the next candle. So it's you gotta it's a, like I said, it's an experimental process, and you gotta kind of do the best you can. Um, and like I probably about 65% accuracy with these trades. I make money on them on the news. They're a good trade to have in your arsenal. It just takes some time to get the timing right, and you got to be willing to do the research and know yourself and know what works for you. Now the other way what you do is you take, let's say that you had 4 or 5 different pairs you're gonna thinking about trading, and you didn't know which one you wanted to, and you just want to be on one side of it. What you can do is for each pair you're considering, you just take the high and low of the previous candle. So say this was like the second, so that would have been a Thursday right here, right? See if I can get it. Come on, click on it. Come on, candle. Or isn't the candle? Maybe let's zoom in, it'll help. It should when you hover over it. See if I can do this. Wait, it'll walk. Anyway, so you can do this, see though. Just add a bar. Say this green candle right here was the day before the release, right? And so you had the range of 9.9881 to 0.9874. And say that you were thinking the report was going to come out positive and you wanted to do a buy position, you would take your 5 currencies and you take the range of each of them for the previous day, and then you would find the pair that was at the bottom of that range. And or let's say you'd find 2 pairs at the bottom of the range. And out of those 2, you'd find and make sure there was no exhaustion. So you'd go back down to your minute chart and say that you're looking to buy instead of sell right here. Or say you're looking to sell. So it'd be the opposite. You'd be at the top of the range for the previous day, right, on the pound. And you'd look and make sure that if you're selling, that maybe the last 5 minutes or so were not, or I'd go usually like the last hour would have either a buy or just neutral, no selling. See how that like the market was going up before the release and then it dropped real quick? That's great because it's showing that the market is exhausted in the opposite direction. It's exhausted towards buying, which makes your sell more likely to have some volume behind it and thrust. It's more likely to do that. That's the other way you can do it. If you're going to enter like that, you got to wait though, maybe a minute before entering, and look what happened. You waited. You go back to the 1 minute chart. You waited too long. See, that's 1 minute right here, and you entered right there. I guess you'd have 20 pips, so still. Just wait a minute and see which way the trend's going to set. Like I said, which direction the trend's going to go. But like I said, it's so volatile. You waited 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 20 minutes into it, it reversed direction. So that's just the volatility of it. But anyway, those are 2 general ways of trading a news impact report. Hope you enjoy it. Like I said, just experiment, find your own method. It's a great tool to have in your arsenal.